this is author Tim Brown of the book, Uncommon Athletes, Filled with Passion to Fuel Your Purpose. And I'm blessed to have with me Cherise Daniel, who was an outstanding, not just high school basketball player from Columbus at Eastmore High School, but went on to play at The Ohio State University, where they were 4-time Big Ten championship regular season champs. So that was an awesome experience. And she's been playing overseas for the last 12 years, 13 years. Make sure I get that right.
I wish I made it that long. 9 years.
9 years. She's been playing overseas for the last 9 years. So I'm just excited to have her on here, really to talk about how important it is to maintain your passion. And here's a young lady who had that passion, elementary, middle school, high school, college, and now is continuing on with that same kind of passion for basketball, but also for life. So Cherise, welcome to the show. I'm glad you're able to join me today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, could you speak to your, just give us a little background about you. I know I met you from Columbus and went to Ohio State. Tell us a little bit about your experiences in basketball.
Yes, from Columbus, Ohio, born and raised, attended Monroe Middle School back when that was up and running, went on the Eastmore Academy, absolutely loved it. It feels like yesterday. We were runner-up in the state championship my junior year. And unfortunately, that's as close as we got. But those are my sisters. Coach Martin now was an assistant. I'm sorry, Coach King was an assistant there. To this day, I speak to a lot of the girls. A few of them are definitely my best friends, my sisters. So Eastmore was like a family to me. Also got an opportunity to be valedictorian. So nothing but great things about my high school years, and then went on to for a women's basketball scholarship at Ohio State and got my degree in 2010 in business.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Tell me a little bit about when did you really find that passion for basketball? Where did that come from?
That's a great question. I think it was just in my blood. I mean, both of my parents were athletes. My mom, volleyball, basketball, cheerleading, my dad, football and basketball. And then as a child, my first word probably was ball, I'm hearing, and I always just wanted to catch the ball or race somebody. So I think it was just in my blood, and in elementary school, first grade, out there with the boys and some of the girls. Right. Don't get me wrong, us girls were out there too back in the day. So yeah, I was the one making the teams before recess. So just kind of started off being a tomboy.
Yeah. It sounds like you had not just a basketball gene in you, but also an academic one as well. You mentioned you were class valedictorian at Eastmore, and then went on to Ohio State and graduated in 4 years. So that was a big part. Can you speak to some of these student athletes who are listening to this, and parents, how important it is to be a student athlete, have that same passion for academics as they do for sports?
No, that's a great point. I feel like, we all love the sport that we do. And unfortunately, that sport doesn't last forever. There's injuries, there's other people working to be just as good as you are and better. So it's very important to take academics important. It should be a priority. Now that I'm thinking back on it, I wish they taught us more about certain things, but that's another topic, credit and whatnot. But I'm just a nerd. I would come home and cry if I got a B. So I don't expect everyone to be nearly as into it as me, but it's important. I mean, basketball can last through middle school, it can last through high school, college, and if you're blessed enough to continue it after college, we all have to work or find some type of trade or something we enjoy doing and passionate about. So I just think it's important to find your niche, whatever it is. Hopefully something you can make some money and make a living off of.
How did your basketball experience at Ohio State prepare you to play overseas? You say you've been playing for 9 years overseas. How did that experience at Ohio State prepare you for that?
Honestly, it prepared me with a mentality that nothing's handed to you. To be honest, there's a lot of things I could have done better in college, on and off the court, as far as more playing time. And then also, to keep it real, politics come into play. And that's not saying anything negative about anybody. I enjoyed my coaches, everything, but sometimes things just happen. And you could get injured, and politics could be someone takes your playing time. That's what I mean by it. So I would say it shaped me because it taught me how to fight for something I really want. In college, you have your scholarship that hopefully gets renewed every season, and you fly on chartered flights, and you get all the best meals, the best hotels, all this gear. It's Christmas in July. You get the red carpet rolled out to you. Don't get me wrong, we work for it. Right. I was in that weight room. Right. It was another level. The first day, my freshman year in the weight room, I brought weightlifting gloves. And the strength coach looked at me and said, "What are those?" I said, "They're weightlifting gloves." He said, "We don't use those here, throw them away." Okay. So, it just taught me how to fight for what I want. After graduating, I'm working for Chase, dribbling an imaginary ball to the printer. And I'm like, I still want to play basketball. So it just taught me how to fight, get even more competitive than what I was, because I wasn't as competitive as I should have been in college. So when you're an adult and you have women older than you, your same age and younger, coming to knock you out of your spot as I'm making money overseas, that taught me how to fend for myself. And training in the off season, you don't have your strength coach and your trainer having you come into your 7 a.m. practice. You have to do it on your own. So it taught me how to be more independent and more of a fighter.
How was that experience overseas? What kind of adjustments did you have to make? And it sounds like you were in several different countries as well. So how were those adjustments? How were you able to make those adjustments?
Oh, great question. I was blessed to be able to play in 7 different countries in 9 seasons. And really, I love people. I'm a people person. And I know I've had 2 injuries in my basketball career, ACL, meniscus. And thankfully, I was able to experience those later in my career, I think at 25, 26, and like 30 years old. So the adjustment overseas was just taking it a year at a time, a season at a time. If I'm 22, 23, heading into my first season, I need to put in the effort that I want to get out of it. My first season, I got cut by the best team in Germany, and then got picked up by a team in the 2nd division, which 2nd division in Germany is also really good. So it just taught me a lesson really quick. And I didn't get cut because of my skill. I got cut because they wanted a power forward instead of a guard. Right. So it just taught me the business right off the bat. And I knew my talent level. I knew I didn't get to show my talent level in college. So it just made me very, very hungry. And the adjustment was just taking it a season at a time, a week at a time. And making a country my home. I didn't want to go over there and be a tourist or a spectator. I want to make friends. I want to learn the language. I want to learn the food. So overseas was amazing. I would play 5 more years if I could.
Yeah. All right. Speaking to young athletes, I know your college career maybe didn't go as you had planned. What drove you? What kept you going? What kept getting you up to keep working?
Just being blessed to have the opportunity to be at Ohio State. We were always a top 25 school, sometimes top 10. I have 4 Big Ten rings. I have sisters that I got a lot of experience that will be lifetime friends. Like I said, I consider them sisters. And I was there to get my degree. So getting my degree was always number one, and how much playing time I got was just a bonus. And realizing certain things the hard way, unfortunately, on my own. So it is what it is. You got to keep it moving and know what you're there for.
Yeah, I think that's a good lesson for young people, as you shared, about knowing what you're there for. And that is to walk out of there with that college degree that's paid for, basically, at the end of the day. That's why what you're there for. Everything else is just a bonus. And it sounds like you took advantage of all those experiences, and it sounds like that was your driving force to be successful, at that next level, Sounds like you had a lot of basketball left in you to get out of you. You know?
For sure.
And you went over there and worked that. When you look back at your younger self, two things. Well, what would you tell your younger self? What would you tell a young Cherie about a work ethic? What would you tell a young Cherie about that? That's
a great question, Mr. Brown. I would tell my younger version to be more competitive. I don't care what school you go to. If there's someone ahead of you, they can still be your friend off the court or even on the court, but you're there to challenge someone. I should have challenged someone better. I brought something to the table that some people don't have. I have this natural athletic ability where I can put the ball behind my back between my legs and score anywhere, like use my talent and make it shine a little bit more. This is something I was blessed with and something I've also worked to perfect. So I would tell my younger myself and the younger anyone else to challenge the person who, if you're in that starting spot, or if you're the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th man, challenge those people. Don't back down. And not that I back down. I don't know, maybe some things didn't click for me back then, but challenge yourself. And also just give it your all, because you're tired every day. You're going to school, and you're working out in the morning. Then you have 2 classes, and then you're coming back for practice. And those 4 years, you will blink your eyes and they are over. So enjoy every minute, challenge yourself, and compete. Because you're going to compete in the real world. You're going to compete for that job. You're going to compete for everything almost. So just compete and enjoy what you do.
Yeah, that's a great lesson. I had on here Coach Rennie Haynes. I'm sure you probably know Rennie.
I do.
Long Island University. She shared when she was recruited to play at Michigan State, the head coach at Michigan State told her in the recruiting process that I'm going to recruit somebody every year to take your spot. I'm going to recruit somebody every year to take your spot. I just kind of threw her back. It's like to take my spot. You recruit me and you're going to bring somebody every year to take my spot. And what she was telling her, exactly what you're talking about. And as we try to get young people to understand, you're always going to be challenged. You're always going to be challenged and you got to compete. That's what life is. And that's what sports, some of those lessons from sport. So as we transition to this question, as we wrap up a little bit here, what would you say those skills that you learned through sports that'll help you at this next phase in your life, as you prepare for that next level, that next opportunity? What are some lessons you learned from sports that help prepare you for that?
Yes, I just learned that there's always going to be someone wiser, stronger, mentally and physically. Although some jobs don't involve physical, there's always going to be someone that is more knowledgeable than you. So use your unique talent and make it your own. I'm very interested in sales, so I'm almost 100% my career. Well, not 100%, but I'm pretty sure my career will involve some form of sales. At least right now, today, that's how I see it. So there's someone who's been in sales for 25 years, who's a way better salesperson than me. But if I can bring my own uniqueness to it, that's what I want to do.
Yeah, that's good. I want to commend you for keeping passionate about basketball and just about life period, and taking advantage of all the opportunities that God placed in front of you and using those opportunities for yourself, but also for his glory, being that example, that positive example to young ladies. And so as you're on this journey, I want to encourage you to know that all is well, that all is truly well. And I'm sure as you look back over it, it's been a great run. It's been a great run. But as you said, you want to keep competing, continue working hard, because the best is yet to come. The best is truly yet to come. That God has a plan and a purpose for your life and for all our lives. So I want to thank you for this time, and I appreciate you jumping in here and being with me. So wish you the best.
I appreciate that, Mr. Brown, and I couldn't say that enough myself. I can never put into words how overseas has affected me and shaped me to just be my unique version of myself. And I'm sorry, maybe I cut my last question short. It taught me how to just always work hard. As you're turning 24, 25, 26, 30, I'm in my 30s now and I can compete versus a 23-year-old, and I'm going to lock you up. Like, I don't care if you just graduated from Duke, you have and give it your best shot. So I thank you for having me here today. And like you said, I've been so blessed. I can't put into words how high school, college, and overseas has shaped me. It's been amazing. I've met so many new people, learned so many new things, and it's been awesome.
All right. Well, thanks for being a part of this video series. For those that are watching, you can pick up a copy of the book, Uncommon Athletes, and how to stay passionate about the game of basketball and life. All right. Thanks for joining me today. Be blessed.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. You be blessed as well.